Good evening. My name is Mariel Caballero, and I am the chair of the Planning Commission. Before we begin, I would like to inform the public that we have Spanish interpretation services available for this meeting. At this time, I would like to ask staff to play the instructions audio.
Hola y bienvenidos a esta reunión. Para acceder a la función de interpretación, haga clic en el icono del globo en la parte inferior de la ventana de Zoom y selecciona el idioma que desea. Para escuchar claramente el audio de interpretación, le recomendamos que también seleccione la opción para silenciar el audio original, que es la opción más baja en el menú después de hacer clic en el icono del globo.
Wonderful. This meeting is being held via Zoom conference call due to the COVID-19 crisis. Members of the public may participate by following the instructions listed on the agenda. You may also view and listen to the meeting on livestream cable TV, Granicus, and YouTube. If you would like to provide public comment, you have two methods to do so to identify yourself to provide public comment. All members of the public will remain on mute until the individual identifies that they would like to speak and you are unmuted. Following roll call during the summary of hearing procedure, we will review how the public may provide comment during today's session. So at this time, I'd like to do roll call. Vice Chair Bonilla will not be joining us today. Commissioner Casey.
Here.
Commissioner Garcia.
Here.
Commissioner Lardinois.
Here.
Commissioner Oliverio. Commissioner Torrens.
Here.
And Vera, I'd like to take the opportunity to appoint a pro tem vice chair, just in case I have to step away.
Absolutely.
Great. So if I could get a nomination.
I nominate Commissioner Torrens.
Perfect. Do we have a second? Second from Commissioner Lardinois. Thank you.
Who made the nomination? Who made the nomination to begin with? I'm sorry to interrupt.
No problem. Commissioner Casey made the nomination and Commissioner
Okay.
Lardinois seconded.
Thank you.
Great.
Sorry,
Thank
also, Chair Caballero, sorry, this is Jennifer again. If you don't mind speaking just a little bit slower for our interpreter.
you. Sorry. I was thinking about that while I was talking.
No worries, no worries.
I apologize. I know I speak really fast normally, so I will try to slow down. Okay, so we have a motion on the floor. Commissioner Torrens, would you accept the nomination for a pro tem vice chair?
Sure, I'd be happy to. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, and let's take a quick roll call vote. Commissioner Casey.
Aye.
Commissioner Garcia.
Aye.
Commissioner Lardinois.
Aye.
Commissioner Oliverio. Not present. Commissioner Torrens.
Aye.
And Commissioner Caballero is present and also voting aye, because I forgot to do myself in the roll call. All righty, so let's go ahead and do summary of hearing procedures. The procedure for this hearing is as follows. After the staff report, applicants and appellants may make a 5-minute presentation. City staff will call out the names of the public who have identified the items they want to speak on. You may identify yourself by the raised hand feature on Zoom. Click *9 on your phone, or you may call 408-535-3505. Again, that's 408-535-3505. Or email planningSupportStaff@sanjoseca.gov and identify your name, phone number, and what items you would like to speak on. As your name is called, city staff will unmute you to speak. After we confirm that your audio is working, your allotted time will begin. Each speaker will have 2 minutes. Speakers using a translator will have 4 minutes. After the public testimony, the applicant and appellant may make closing remarks for an additional 5 minutes. Planning commissioners may ask questions of the speakers. Response to commissioners' questions will not reduce the speaker's time allowance. Staff will unmute the speaker to respond to the commissioner. The public hearing will then be closed and the Planning Commission will take action on the item. Planning Commission may request staff to respond to the public testimony, ask staff questions, and discuss the item. If you challenge these land use decisions in court, you may be limited to raising only those issues you or someone else raised at this public hearing or in written correspondence delivered to the city at or prior to the public hearing. The Planning Commission's actions on rezonings, pre-zonings, general plan amendments, and code amendments is only advisory to the City Council. The City Council will hold public hearings on these items. Section 20.120.400 of the Municipal Code provides the procedures for legal protests to the City Council on rezonings and pre-zonings. The Planning Commission's action on conditional use permits is appealable to the City Council in accordance with Section 20.100.220 of the Municipal Code. So at this time, I'd like to ask folks if you'd like to speak on public comment. Now is the time to raise your hand, please.
Okay, Salvador, you are unmuted.
Y está aquí, ya no está en mudo, Salvador. ¿Tiene algo que decir?
He appears to still be muted.
Parece ser que todavía está en mudo.
Okay, la cosa. Okay, yeah, I'm here.
Aquí estoy.
Can you hear me?
¿Me pueden escuchar?
Yes.
Sí.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sí.
Good evening. My
Muy buenas
name
noches.
is
Mi
Salvador
nombre es
Bustamante.
Salvador Bustamante.
My God, I'm having trouble
Y
with
estoy
my,
teniendo aquí un poco de problemas con...
I'm sorry, can we just pause for a second?
Disculpe, ¿puedo tomar una pausa breve?
Yes.
So I think
Parece ser que...
Okay.
Salvador doesn't need translation, so I think that we're hearing both Rich and Salvador at the same time.
Oh, I apologize. Let me step up.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
All right. Well, thank you.
Just hold on one second, Salvador. We will restart your time. We're just going to let Rich move to the other room so that he can translate your public comment for the rest of the public.
Okay.
Sorry about the technical difficulty. Yeah, sorry about the technical difficulty. We're working on that right now.
So,
So just hold on one second. We'll let you know when to go ahead and start speaking.
okay, very well.
And for the rest of the folks, if anyone would like to comment, please use the raise hand feature in Zoom or press *9. Staff will move the translator back to the main channel if there is a Spanish public speaker. So I think we can now go ahead and move back to Salvador.
Yes.
Thank you. Well, thank you for the opportunity to address the commission. Good evening, commissioners. My name is Salvador Bustamante. I am with Latinos United for a New America, also known as LUNA. LUNA is a grassroots organization working with Latino immigrants to improve the quality of life of Latinos and our families in Silicon Valley. I'm here tonight because I'm concerned about the possibility that hundreds of Latino and immigrant families could be displaced by the new development that will be built on the grounds of what is left of the Berryessa flea market. My concern arises from the fact that most of the merchants at the flea market who stand to lose their livelihood had been in the dark about the plans for this development. As far as I know, neither the city nor the developer had made a serious attempt to include the vendors in the outreach process. The city does not seem to care about the impact that this development is going to have in the lives of these people. Of course, this is an assumption on my part, but what else can I assume when I know directly from the vendors that none of them were notified of the city and landowners' plans? So tonight I'm asking this commission to recommend to the city to reopen the outreach process for these projects so the merchants can have a real opportunity to educate all the parties involved about the impact that this development could have in their lives. The merchants must be included in this process, not as an afterthought, but as primary stakeholders. Thank you.
Okay, Roberto, you are unmuted. Go ahead and unmute yourself and begin to speak.
Hi, can you guys hear me? Just wanted to confirm. Oh, okay. Thank you again for letting us comment during this open period. I myself am a vendor there at the flea market. My name is Roberto Gonzalez, and I've actually been working there for about 15 years now. Ever since I was a little kid, my dad actually has a stand selling piñatas and Mexican candy, and he's been there for over 30 years. So honestly, same topic that Salvador just mentioned, on the development plans, there is no mention of the flea market relocation or incorporation. So that displacement is going to adversely affect not only myself and my family, but thousands of other vendors that are there in the market, just like me, who have families, workers that depend, and is their sole income there. Honestly, the uncertainty of the market has been something that's affected our sales. And not, like I said, when I say us, I mean everyone there at the market. I've been talking to various vendors, and our business income has drastically been declining since the development of the art and the housing, as many visitors sometimes are not even aware that the market is even open anymore. The community and vendors have not been given proper information from the owners or the city on what will happen on the market when the development begins. And what we want as vendors is to be incorporated into these plans. Just one question I wanted to leave you guys with as well is, like, when this item is agenda or on the agenda, you know, what are your plans for the market? You know, we as vendors, we want to be incorporated, or at the very least, we want a relocation elsewhere, just because it's going to displace thousands of vendors and affect livelihoods like you can't imagine. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Khaled. You are unmuted. Go ahead and unmute yourself and begin to speak.
Hi, my name is Caleb. I am also a daughter of vendors. Actually, I wouldn't consider myself just a daughter. I'm also a vendor at the flea market. I've been helping my parents sell blankets for over 30 years. The displacement of the flea market and the development in general has really affected us personally, just because, like the gentleman before mentioned, a lot of people don't even know we're open. We have been oblivious to all the development changes or even propositions. Until this day, we haven't heard anything from the city nor the bums, which is the owners of the flea market, of relocation, changes, anything. When we know, it's when it's already happening. And I just think that's not fair. I think we should be considered. We want, like, again, like they mentioned before, we want either incorporation or at the very least, like a relocation. We have rights as vendors. We have rights as just people in general. And I feel like we should be considered more into these plans and just communicate, get communication better from the city or the owners. And it's just something that we really, really are interested in being informed about this, and we just are put to the side. So if that can change and you guys can include us more and give us just bigger heads up, or like really talk to us, that would be awesome. So yeah, again, thank you.
Thank you. And next we have Christopher. Christopher, you are unmuted. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Great, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to speak before you today. My name is Chris Lepe, and I am a former resident of San Jose, just recently moved, but I have lived in, or had lived in San Jose for about 30 years. And I'm here before you today to second the comments that have been made by all of the speakers thus far, raising the concerns, the very justifiable concerns related to the city and the developers, the landowners' plans for the Berryessa area. Unfortunately, despite the fact that the environmental impact report from the rezoning, which you, the Planning Commission, will be having a chance to speak to and provide recommendations to the City Council in just a matter of weeks, the EIR does not while it raises the issue of displacement and the elimination of the market as a cultural and historic resource that it states is significant, unfortunately the mitigations that are proposed are laughable and are not nearly on the scale necessary to come even close to addressing the impacts of this development. Likewise, the urban village plan is almost completely silent on the issue of relocation. Incorporation has been noted of this valuable community resource and this what is really effectively the largest business incubator in the region and perhaps the state of California. And so we plead to you, the commission, to encourage the city and city staff to address this issue and take the initiative and creativity that is really needed at this point. Thank you.
Okay, next we have Cayetano. Sorry if I butcher your name here. I'm not wearing my glasses. You are unmuted. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Bueno, hola, buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Cayetano Araujo. Trabajo en la Flea Market por alrededor de 30 años. Ahorita me ha afectado mucho el desplazamiento de que están haciendo de los edificios, la construcción de una setway ahí, un banco. Pues nosotros, como yo, somos de la tercera edad y como muchos compañeros ahí de la Flea Market, se nos sería muy difícil para nosotros poder desenvolvernos en otro trabajo ya de la
we
tercera
feel
edad.
dislocated, and at the age that we're in now.
Rich?
Yes.
So this part will be consecutively. So once Cayetano says his comments, and then you will repeat them in English.
Roger that. Okay.
Can you let him know he can keep speaking?
Puede continuar hablando, sir.
Oh, sí, como le venía diciendo, ¿verdad? Soy una persona de la tercera edad y dependo mucho de mi trabajo ahorita en la Flea Market. A mí me afecta demasiado que nos vayan a quitar ese espacio de trabajo que tenemos, porque veo con tristeza que le dan un poco más de apoyo a las grandes empresas, lo cual se está haciendo una setway ahí a un lado de la pulga, bancos, y veo que no hay problema y a nosotros nos quieren desplazar después de haber trabajado tantos años ahí y darles a los BON la oportunidad de construir unos edificios con el trabajo también de nosotros, porque ellos se beneficiaron de nosotros y ahora nos quieren desplazar sin darnos ninguna explicación. Nosotros quisiéramos una reubicación o un lugar donde nos den fuente de trabajo. Gracias.
Well, seeing as how a lot of the merchants that are there that are my peers that are also of this late age as I am, we all feel like we've been working there. I have my place at the flea market. We've been working there for over 30 years. We put in all this effort, and now with the banks and everything that's being built right next to us, we're going to end up being displaced. And that displacement, we feel is like we worked very hard, and all the work that we did is being just handed off to somebody else so that they can go ahead and have this development take place. And then where are we going to end up at? Is there somewhere else that you're going to put us? We feel like we're displaced, and that's where we're at. Thank you very much for allowing me to speak.
Thank you. Next we have Jesus.
Gracias.
You are unmuted.
Próximamente tenemos a Jesús. Sí, ya no está en mudo.
Thank you. Dear Planning Commissioners, my name is Jesus Flores. I am president of the Latino Business Foundation, Silicon Valley. Latino Business Foundation of Silicon Valley is a business incubator that, among other things, provides technical support and advocacy to small businesses. For many years, as it has been said, the flea market has been considered the biggest and most effective business incubator in San Jose. For many successful businesses that presently exist were at one moment flea market vendors. But at this time, the future of hundreds of vendors and their families at the flea market are at risk. These small businesses represent our community and our culture, and we must do everything in our power to protect them. The impact that this development is going to have in the lives of hundreds of vendors, their employees, and the families of their employees is immense. Hundreds of, or possibly thousands of jobs will be lost. Now imagine this struggle added to the damage COVID-19 is causing to small businesses at this current moment. We must find ways to save the flea market. Either finding a way for the vendors to continue doing business at their current location, or a second option, finding a place for the vendors to be relocated. We understand that we are in desperate need for housing, but we also must find the balance against small business displacement. We must do everything in our power, again, to protect the merchants at the flea market. Thank you.
Debemos hacer todo nuestro poder para proteger a todos los comerciantes de la pulga, dado a que el impacto va a ser inmenso en una forma donde pueden perder los trabajos cientos hasta miles de personas.
Okay, Jose, you are unmuted. Go ahead and unmute yourself and begin to speak.
José, ¿ya puedes hablar?
Hi, thank you for your guys' time. My name is Jose Wall. I've been working at the flea market for about years. A family business that my family has been running for about almost 20 years. The stand has only one source of income. It's basically the source of income for my family, for me, and different members that have worked with us and are still continuing working with us. Some that was concerned basically is basically not being included in the flea market future of its development, not knowing exactly the negative effect of impact this has been causing to many vendors, and also to many people that are not aware that the flea market is still open. And with the decline of having BART and the housing, this has severely, drastically has hurt many small businesses in the flea market, including ourselves. And we're asking that the city takes consideration and be aware that the flea market is just not a flea market, but there's many people who has livelihoods, family, are depending on the flea market, and also that have generations that has been in the flea market, passing down to their kids and their so on. We ask that they consider us in this opportunity, that we're expressing our concerns, how much this is affecting not just the vendors, but also this affects also the arrival of clienteles. The clienteles is a diverse area where most of us know that every reach of outcome of life has goes there. And actually, it's one of the most diverse area that San Jose actually has on the map. If you look at it in the blueprint format. Also the concern of not being included in the development, wanted to begin to say we'd like to be included, and also we request that if it needs to be relocated. Thank you so much for your time.
We want to thank everybody for their patience. Oh, it looks like we have one more speaker.
Yes, Ana, you are unmuted. Go ahead and unmute yourself and begin to speak.
Sí, mi nombre es Ana Calderón y mi esposo y yo tenemos más de 30 años de trabajar
Just
en
a
la
second,
pulga.
please.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Okay.
let's we can get the translation over.
He's here.
Okay,
Oh.
go ahead, please.
Hola, mi nombre es Ana Calderón y mi esposo y yo tenemos más de 30 años de trabajar en la pulga. El cierre de la pulga nos afectaría muchísimo a nosotros porque, bueno, no solo a nosotros, a la mayoría de personas que vendemos en la pulga, porque para muchos es nuestra principal fuente de ingresos. Y la incertidumbre del cierre de la pulga nos ha afectado también negativamente a todos, pues los ingresos han disminuido considerablemente a partir del desarrollo del proyecto del bar y de las viviendas. Muchas de las personas que vienen a la pulga, tenemos muchos clientes que vienen de lejos. Entonces ellos no saben si la pulga continúa abierta. Entonces todo eso nos ha traído pérdidas en el negocio. Los vendedores y la comunidad en general no hemos recibido información adecuada de parte de los dueños o de la ciudad acerca del futuro de la pulga, pues, y todo esto pues nos afecta negativamente. Y lo que necesitamos nosotros pues es que nos incorporen o nos reubiquen. Y también necesitamos saber cuáles son los planes de la ciudad con respecto a la pulga, porque pues nosotros tenemos, la mayoría vivimos de ahí de la pulga, pues, y estamos viendo, como decía el otro compañero, pues que están llegando negocios grandes y entonces no están protegiendo a los negocios pequeños. Y la mayoría de los que vendemos en la pulga, pues tenemos ya, la mayoría, más de 30 años. Nosotros tenemos más de 30 años de trabajar en la pulga. Entonces, pues les pedimos que nos incorporen en el desarrollo o por lo menos que nos reubiquen, ¿verdad? Pues muchas gracias por escucharnos.
My name is Ana Calderon, and I'm one of the vendors there at the flea market. We've been there for over 30 years, and there's been a definite negative impact on our income and that of our peers as well. The negative income comes and started around the time that the development started taking place. Also, the uncertainty of the closure of the flea market has affected us negatively as well, specifically in our sales. And that is due to the fact that the city is not taking us into consideration, just like they take the big business into consideration. They are not taking the small businesses into consideration, only looking out for the big business. So what we would like to see is for us to, become more a part or become more incorporated with what it is that you can communicate to us as far as what the plans are for the future of the flea market, or if you can find a way to find a new location for us, either incorporate us or make us part of this, or find a new place for us. And thank you very much for allowing me the opportunity to speak.
Thank you. I want to do two things. I want to acknowledge that Commissioner Oliverio has joined us and that he is, I believe he came in shortly after public comment started. And before I call on the commissioners, I also just wanted to thank everyone who spoke and encourage us. I'll be working with staff to find out if there's a way that we can do this more smoothly in the future, especially when this item comes specifically before us. I understand that everyone's doing the absolute best they can, and we really do appreciate it. We want to hear from our community members in this manner, and we want to make sure that your voices are heard, but also we recognize that for some of us, this is new technology, and so it's a little hard. So we'll work out the kinks before this item comes before us next time, and hopefully be able to have a more smooth transition between everything. So we'll be working with staff to figure that out. So I'm going to call on Commissioner Lardinois at the moment, since he had his hand up first, and then Commissioner Oliverio.
Thank you, Chair. Both for my reference and for the members of the public who are here, do we know when this item will come before this commission?
I believe this item is planning to, I think on the 24th of March.
Hi, can you introduce yourself?
Oh, sorry, this is Tai Chao Lee, Supervising Environment Planner.
Thank you. And then my other question was, I want to ask the chair to remind us how public comment works when we have an item on consent, if there are any members of the public who want to speak on that item.
I will do that in just a second. Let's go ahead and move to Commissioner Oliverio.
Thank you, Chair. And I think this might be a time for planning staff to join in, but I remember in 2007, development EIR came to the San Jose City Council. We had a standing room only evening filled with the merchants from the fairgrounds. So again, that was 2007, very well publicized, controversial, and I don't believe the city is responsible for relocation, but rather the property owner was looking to work with the county in potentially using county land for the relocation. So I don't think this is something that just came up. This is something that goes back over 10 years. So if I'm wrong, let me know, but I remember that room and it was a very long night.
Unfortunately, Commissioner, we don't have the planner who's actually in charge of the flea market project with us tonight. So we don't have any history on that piece.
Okay. Well, I'm sure we'll have it that night when we come with this one of the applications out of the total project. Thank you.
Right.
Okay, so public comment. I'm going to actually for consent calendar item, because now it's time to move to item number 4, which is our consent calendar. And we do have one item that is on the consent calendar. And if we do have speakers, I would encourage them to raise their hands now. If we have Spanish speakers related to this item, I would actually ask them to raise their hands first.
Madam Chair, before you go, if I may clarify, staff would like to make a clarification on that particular item.
Okay.
That's right. Oh, correction.
So I was actually going to ask Vera to let us know what the consent calendar public speaking option is, because I believe, according to previous meetings, we need to take the item off consent calendar and actually have a public hearing about it.
That is true. That is true.
Although that's not how other agencies handle it, but I will defer to you all today on that.
We've done that traditionally because often staff wants to respond to what the comment is, and sometimes the commissioners have comments, so it saves an issue with that.
Okay, so let's go ahead before we move to the consent calendar. I just wanted to see from Commissioner Lardinois and Commissioner Torrens, is your comment related to the consent calendar?
I just forgot to lower my hand.
Okay, Commissioner Torrens.
Yeah, my comment was about the public comment.
Okay, so let's do your comment first before we move to the consent calendar.
Okay, thank you. I will lower my hand. All right, good evening, everybody. Thank you, Chair. I would like to ask staff for more information about this project that will be coming up, because it raised a lot of questions in my mind about this. And so I don't know if it's something we need to have a study session on beforehand, or just receive some more information or some references of where we can look. But I definitely want to dig in a little deeper.
Commissioner Torrin, the department understands that this is a very touchy, sensitive issue. The new council member for the area has brought the community's concerns to planning management's attention. So there is going to be another community meeting. As we speak, staff is working with the council office for another community meeting.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Robert.
Thank you for that clarification, Commissioner Torrens, or for asking the question and for staff for clarification. Okay. So
I'm sorry, Chair. I also wanted to add that we do have resources online currently about the project, including plan sets and also the EIR that one of the public commenter, Chris Lepe, mentioned. It's also on our website, on the EIR website, and on the planning website. So if any of the commissioners is interested before March 24th, that's all available, including information about who the project manager is.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we will move on from public comment. We have no items for item number 3, which is deferrals and removals from the calendar. Item number 4 is the consent calendar. This time, do we have any public speakers on the consent calendar? Please raise your hands now.
Madam Chair, staff would like to make a clarification on that. So
I understand, but this will help us know whether or not we need to take it off the agenda.
It would be helpful also to just briefly explain what the item on consent is, just in case folks aren't familiar with the layout of the agenda.
Sure. So item number 4A is PDC 20-001, PD 20-005, and PT 20-001. It's a planned development rezoning from the R18 zoning district to a R18 PD zoning district. a vesting map, and a re-subdivided to 2 parcels into 45 parcels, including 3 Carmen area parcels and a planned development permit to allow the demolition of 2 maintenance buildings totaling 22,000 square feet and 10 ordinance size tree removal. I'm gonna, at this point, let staff go ahead and describe what their clarification is, and then we'll check one more time for public comment before we move forward.
Thank you, Chair. This is Alec Atienza, Planning Project Manager. I just have a quick clarification on the development standards to read into the record. So the minimum lot size of Area A is actually 6,000 square feet, and the minimum lot size of Area C is actually 4,700 square feet. So that would be found in the staff report, the plan development permit resolution, and the draft development standards. Apologies for the mix up there. And that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So seeing no hands, this item does not need to be removed from the agenda.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Oliverio.
Second.
Second from Commissioner Torrance. Would either commissioner like to speak to the motion?
Chair, I would just say the bigger decision was already made previously. This is just the second time this item has to come through us. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so at this time, we'll go ahead and do a roll call vote on approving the staff recommendation on item 4A for the consent calendar. So Commissioner Bonilla, not present. Commissioner Casey?
Aye.
Commissioner Garcia?
Aye.
Commissioner Lardinois?
Aye.
Commissioner Oliverio?
Aye.
Commissioner Torrance?
Aye.
And Commissioner Caballero is also an aye. So that item passes unanimously. I'm going to wait a moment for staff to share the screen. Let me know if we're not doing that. Okay, here we go. Thank you. Okay, and then we will move to item 5A, which is a public hearing, and I am opening the public hearing for item PP 21-001, which is an ordinance amending Chapter 13.48 and Section 20.100.40 of Chapter 20.100 to allow for concurrent review of historic preservation permits and to make other technical, non-substantive, or formatting changes within those chapter and sections of the San Jose Municipal Code. CEQA, oh, I'm not going to read that. Okay, the project manager is Vikram Seema, and if I could get, if we could go ahead and start the staff presentation, the public hearing is now open.
Absolutely. Thank you, Chair Caballero and Vice Chair Bonilla and all other commissioners. My name is Vikram Chima. I'm a relatively new hire. This is my first time before this body in a formal capacity, so it's a pleasure to be here and meet everyone. I am the Historic Preservation Officer. Just to give you a quick background, I grew up in Northern California. I went to school at UC Berkeley. I studied preservation and urban design in Pasadena, California for about a decade. I got my graduate degree from Villanova University and did some planning, managing for some small cities in Northern California. So now I'm here, I'm working with Robert and Rosalind, Rosalind, and just been a great experience thus far. It's been an amazing 4 or so months. So I just wanted to give you a little background on who you were speaking with. And so let's jump into, I'm going to share my screen with a brief, just a brief slide presentation. So what we are proposed with today is a long-standing revision that the planning department has wanted to rectify in its concurrent review process. So the scope of our work today and the scope of the change in the ordinance are revisions to the concurrent review process to include historic preservation permits. And just to give everyone a little bit of background and a review on the concurrent review process, concurrent review invests final decision-making authority, with the highest decision-making body for required project approvals. Concurrent review allows for certain types of permits and environmental findings for projects on the same site to be reviewed and acted upon by the highest decision-making body. So what we are doing is we are taking a list of already mandated development projects that are eligible for concurrent review, things like tree removals, major encroachment permits. You can see in non-yellow those items which can be, or which are eligible for concurrent approval and for unified approval process. We will be adding historic preservation permits and amendments. And the outcomes of this change, of this revision to the concurrent section and adding the HP permit to the concurrent process is in no way to devolve or remove any of the historic landmarks autonomy to make recommendations on landmarks, on landmark districts, design review, and the many other recommendations they make. And it is also for the historic preservation permits and amendments to be heard concurrently by the Director of Planning, Planning Commission, or City Council. So we are opening up and we're providing some options for the historic preservation permit. And I wanted to solidify this presentation because I understand that this can be a bit esoteric with an example of what happens when we have a bit of a redundant project or a project that has an HP permit bundled along with other permits. And so if you can follow me along just briefly, this was a project known as Gateway Plaza. And the original project required a site development permit, a tentative map, a variance, and an HP permit. So we've got, this is under the old code, and we've got three concurrent types of permits going on. And without an EIR, this process would have gone straight to the planning director and would have been approved, the project and the environmental findings. However, the project required and was found to require an EIR, which denoted a significant and unavoidable impact, and moved the conversation, forwarded it to the Planning Commission for recommendation to City Council, both on the project and the environmental findings. The City Council certified the EIR and the remainder of the project, the site development permit, the tentative map, and the variance. But because the HP permit is not eligible for concurrent review, the HP permit had to go back to a director's hearing after the City Council had already adopted the EIR and approval and all other entitlements. So in conclusion, what we are really trying to do is integrate the historic preservation permits and amendments into the concurrent review and to streamline the decision-making so that the highest, most authoritative body, whether that be the director or the Planning Commission or the City Council, make one final holistic decision. So it's a streamlining process. And with that, I will be happy to take any questions or clarifications.
Of course, I'm on mute. My understanding is that there's not a project related to this, so there's no applicant. So at this time, we would move to public comment. And it looks like we have one hand raised already. I would encourage anyone else wishing to speak on this item to raise their hand now. So we can go ahead and start public comment, and then we will take commissioner questions.
Okay, Mike, you are unmuted. Go ahead and unmute yourself and begin to speak.
Hi, this is Mike representing Preservation Action Council of San Jose. Good evening to everybody. Hey, I just want to start out by saying that the city has worked very hard, Vikram in particular, in communicating with us about this particular proposed change. So the city has been very forthright and very aggressive in, communicating the reasoning for this. And certainly we see the logic in streamlining a process that makes it more efficient for the development of properties. The concern that we have, as representing the interests of preservation, is that that the streamlining doesn't fail to bring out issues that would potentially come out in a process that would go back to the planning director, that would end up, arguing through CEQA that proper process was followed, where we don't necessarily see examples of that we have great concern about, but we are concerned that we can't see how this particular change advances the cause of preservation. Thank you.
Okay. There doesn't appear to be any additional speakers on this item. We'll go ahead and go to commissioner questions. Commissioner Torrance.
Thank you, Chair. So I'll go to you, Vikram. By the way, welcome to San Jose. Glad you're here. And I guess my question for you is just what the gentleman from PAC brought up is, how does this advance the cause of preservation?
So it's an excellent question. No, and Mike, thank you for your kind comments. And we are trying to be as transparent and communicative as possible. In my opinion, by elevating the HP permit into a concurrent process with the other eligible type permits, there's a level of
motion passes with 2 abstentions or absence. Thank you, not abstentions. And we'll move on to item number 6, which is referrals from City Council, boards, commissions, and other agencies. Don't think we have any items for this, so we'll go ahead and move to item number 7, which is good and welfare, which is a report from City Council. Robert, do we have a report?
Yes, we do. Yesterday's council meeting, the amendment to the citywide design guidelines was approved. And then there was an item there which you just had today, which is the amendment to Title 13 that Vikram presented. It was deferred to March 9th. So from here, it's going to go to City Council on March 9th. Then the general plan amendment and the general plan text amendment for Martha Garden specific plan, that was also approved. And then also the general plan amendment for property located at 1975 Cambriana, which is the Cambrian School District's property, that was also approved with conditions. That's You are muted, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Robert. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and there's no action on that item since it's just receiving a staff report. We have action on item 7B, which is to review and approve the minutes from the February 10th, 2021 meeting. Do we have any changes to the minutes or that commissioners need to make? Okay, seeing no hands, do we have a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Commissioner Casey. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Torrance. Okay.
Wait, I did Casey also make a motion?
That was Lardner. I was about to.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Your box showed up at the same time that Commissioner Lardenois made the. I apologize. That's so strange.
No, it's all right. I thought maybe he did at the same time, and I didn't hear it. So
you guys must have both unmuted at the same time. So his box popped up.
Commissioner Lardenois made the motion, and Commissioner Torrance.
Yes.
Second.
Commissioner Lardenois made the motion, and Commissioner Torrance is seconded. And at this time, we will take a roll call vote. Commissioner Casey.
Aye.
Commissioner Garcia.
Aye.
Commissioner Lardenois.
Aye.
Commissioner Oliverio. Oh, we still lost him. Commissioner Torrance.
Aye.
And Commissioner Bonilla is absent. That
Thanks,
motion
George.
passes. Okay, item number 7C is subcommittee formation reports and outstanding business, to which we have no items. Item number 7D is commission calendar and study sessions. I just want to announce that our next meeting is on March 10th at 6:30 p.m. Robert, do we have any other changes to the calendar?
Not yet, and we'll let you know if there are any changes.
Okay, thank you so much. And then item number 7E is items for the public record. Would any of the staff or commissioners like to speak on public record on any of the items or on any item? Okay. Oh, yes, Commissioner Torrance.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. Okay, so Robert, when you mentioned on the city council report that the project at Cambriana was approved, I'm a little confused. I think that came before us and we declined, or we followed the staff recommendation. So can you just update on what happened?
Yes, Commissioner Torrance, it was approved with conditions, and I'm going to pull the conditions that they came up with and I'll read it out. Let's see. So the conditions will be included per Councilwoman Foley's Blue Memo. They are as follows: inclusion of on-site affordability to meet the current inclusionary housing ordinance at 15% affordable units with a maximum 80% AMI restriction, and construction of at least 14 accessory dwelling units, ADUs. These ADUs should be restricted through covenants, conditions, and restrictions to disallow their use as short-term rentals. They also directed staff to explore policy changes for public school land conversions that could provide more opportunities for affordable housing. Additional consideration should also be given to school districts for generation of education revenue. Staff to report back to Planning Commission and City Council with policy options no later than the next general plan amendment process at the end of 2021.
Okay, very good to know. Thank you.
You're welcome, Commissioner Torrance.
Commissioner Latino, you had your hand up and down. I didn't know.
Oh, yeah, no, my question was answered. Thank you.
Okay, great. Okay, so thank you everyone for your patience with me today. Apparently I am having major technology issues, which are just user issues. So that our meeting is adjourned and we will see everyone on March 10th. Thank you so much.